Taxes, taxes, taxes. It's a word we've all heard before, and when it comes to coughing up the dough each year, it may not be fun, but it will keep the IRS from knocking on your door.
And there's no longer the option of, I reside in this small island country, no one will find me.
And attorney Diane Mahaney of Kaplan Drysdale says when it comes to U.S. taxpayers residing in the Cayman Islands,
practically 10 years ago, you could fly under the radar. You could move to a different jurisdiction and never have another peep again. FATCA has changed all that.
Attorney Jana Ziering says it can be difficult because there are always new requirements and the law keeps changing.
Generally, people, even people in U.S., but specifically people outside of U.S., are not educated about the multitude of U.S. tax filing requirements, and in many circumstances, they don't even know that they're subject to the requirements.
On Wednesday, concerned citizens gathered for an informational meeting at the Caribbean Club to learn about the most recent U.S. tax filing options and reporting requirements under FATCA, as well as how to report earnings to the IRS.
Cayman signed an intergovernmental agreement, in terms of IGA, with the United States agreeing to cooperate with FATCA. And that information sharing will begin this year. And the information will be received by the U.S., and people should take action now to come into compliance.
At the free seminar, attorneys and a CPA answered questions and concerns, and attendees learned the practical and effective methods for coming into compliance through various IRS voluntary disclosure programs, including the Streamlined Filing Compliance Program for non-U.S. residents.
It's becoming harder and harder to hide, and you really want to be ahead of the situation. You don't want the IRS knocking on your door. There are options for you to come forward and come into compliance now before they come to you, because once they come to you, it's a very different conversation. It's a very different penalty.
Both attorneys say they are not trying to scare anyone, but for everyone to understand there are criminal and civil penalties if you don't come into compliance.
And just because you've had an account here for 20, 30 years without issue doesn't mean you won't get a letter in the mail. And we've had clients in Cayman, as well as a host of other countries, receiving these letters.
And for the people who do not need to come into compliance, Ziering says they should understand
U.S. taxes its citizens and their worldwide income. So any income, and by the way, that is very different than what a lot of other countries do. So any income you earn in Cayman, even though you're not living in the United States, are still subject to U.S. tax.
I came here because I live abroad and I've had 3 children abroad, and I wanted to find out the impact on them having a parent from the U.S.
John Wagner says he came to the seminar with many questions.
Do I need to get them passports? Are they U.S. citizens? When do they start paying taxes and start reporting? And it was all covered here. It was great.
At the end of the day, Mahaney says no matter what, FATCA is here to stay.
It's going to hurt a little bit, but there's a way, and we'll do it efficiently. And then prospectively, once you return to compliance and you have that little painful, you can either decide to file prospectively going forward, remain U.S., and remain in compliance and rest easy, or there's a way out. You can relinquish your citizenship, and again, it may cost you more than you want to pay now, but in the long run, it may be the correct answer for you.
Reporting for CNS Business, I'm Jamie Hicks.